Hi.
Hello, Carly. The reason why we're talking from my point of view is because delving into these mysteries, the reasons why we are the way that we are, and what the potential and possibilities for transformational change are, and in a achievable way. Not in a theoretical one and say, okay, I guess I got to figure out how to remember 90 more lifetimes of doing the same thing. I think that's ridiculous. And so, no, not for us. We're here to come here and take responsibility for ourselves in such a way that we're not walking around in confusion, wondering what life is about. We know. We came here conscious and we stayed conscious. The body isn't our only sense of self. So, was there something in particular that you would like us to start talking about? Okay, so you're okay if I just follow the energy and speak my mind as it's happening? Okay, excellent. Okay, well, Carly, we'll speak about that. Okay, so openness, the willingness to experience life as it is, and to allow ourselves to harmonize with it, with what's actually real and what's actually true. Become not just self-aware, but aware of others, other individuated consciousnesses, and where they've chosen to place themselves and how they've chosen to operate, being able to see easily, clearly, and enables us to, not interfere with other people's games that might include us, something happening to us from an outside influence that's not part of the game that we want to play here. So in our being water, so to speak, in this reality, we have an intention and we have a flow, but we still accept the stream, the bed, the reality as it is. Whatever it is, it is. It's not for us to change. It's for us to notice, to pay attention to, and to alter ourselves so that we interact with reality on our terms, by removing ourselves from situations where that wouldn't be allowed from the other point of view, and by placing ourselves in situations where what we do, how we share, the way we communicate is what the other person that you're interacting with is actually looking for, hoping for. So observing this reality accurately, so that when it's throwing its arms open and say, welcome home to us, that we're paying attention to that. So we're where we're needed and wanted. If you're where you're needed and wanted, you really don't have to say any prayers of protection, do you? So what's it like when things shift for you, where you go from that, where you go from concern about your placement in time and space and how you want to experience it different than the way that you have. And I think it's not just okay that you have that feeling, but it's necessary for you to be anywhere near a physical reflection of your eternal nature, which is what we all naturally want for ourselves and for everybody else too. We're all coming at our core from the same place. It's a graceful condition of unconditional love. Unconditional love in a way that it blesses the other, blesses itself too, and stays open to a free flow celebration of life with those that we're living with, that we're sharing with, you know. So proper placements necessary. That's my new, I'm saying that not because I'm an expert, because I'm such a fool to have placed myself my entire life many, many, many times where I'm not wanted, and I'm not needed, and I'm not valued. That's not their fault. It's my fault. You know, for whatever reason, I have to say I wanted that experience of being rejected, or worse, not being seen at all. Not even being worth noticing. You know, that's quite an experience to have from the point of view of some other that you would actually have enjoyed interacting with. Of course, I can't say anything that you don't already know, but I also know that even though you know everything that I'm saying and far more, that it always brings an inner smile to us when we know that we're with somebody who can see us and feel us and is open to sharing a level of communication as high as I can go, as open as I can be, and a place, you know, pregnant with transformational, transcendent change. So, the nature of reality and our nature, at its core, we've chosen to open. And to receive the flow, and to allow the flow to flow through us unrestrictedly. And for that flow to eventually remind us that, wait, all I ever have been is the flow of consciousness. Being stuck in an embodiment, a life, and taking on a human identity, that's abnormal, you know. It's not what we usually do. And everything's on the menu here. And if you can't read and don't know that you've got a choice, and even if you did know that you have a choice, you don't know how to actually choose and then have the realization of that choice be your experience exactly the way that you wanted to, but even better, because each time you take another step on the stairway to heaven, you see the next potential, more beautiful, more expanded, more loving, more open, more authentically you. The real you. Yeah, finally. You know, so the message from your reality, at least from this one point of view, is yes to you, to your truth, to your accurate perceptions of others, to your accurate perceptions of not just individuals, but communities and groups and all the different ways that people align themselves with a particular thought pattern and belief system, and then begin to exclude all the rest of the universe by being subservient to and honoring as greater than they are something that is just a distraction if your point of view is am I open to the goddess awakening as me right now? And if that's something, if that's a level of experience, of truth, of potential, of possibility, and that your experience right now is entirely controlled right now by your ability to say yes and to get out of the way of stopping truth from moving you and from moving as you. You know, because I, for one, can say for everyone else here that we've been looking and yearning to meet someone we could have a universal experience with. Not one that knows it all, but one that's open to it all, that duplicates it all, that as whenever an individuated aspect of creation comes within your perception, you pay attention and you experience what it is from a safe distance if necessary, you know, because you want to have a continuity of the life that you're in right now, right? Because for some reason you have identified as who and what you are. And you're trying to make sense of reality from the point of view of a female human, you know, on a particular planet, you know, and in a really limited thing called time and space. So here you are, you know, in seemingly the most impossible vessel for living as your eternal nature, as that being the consciousness, you know. We've got a collective human consciousness that, you know, you don't have to look very far before you can say anything worse than this isn't accepted, you know, and you're ostracized or punished or killed or, you know, you're taken out of the game. That's the point. If you're this bad, you know, we're going to take you out of the game. However, how good can you get and say something like, God is moving within me. I can feel Him. And I'm open to the divine being at home in me. Yeah, what's it feel like? You've dabbled with it a little bit, I can tell. So, what's it like when somebody else says, okay, let me feel the goddess flowing awareness, attention, love, compassion, wisdom, understanding, more than universal, all that love can be. Open and let me feel what it is to be comprehended, noticed, by an eternal goddess living and aware and present in the now. And that's what the world's needed. It's needed a place where you can go when you're in trouble, consciously, mentally, emotionally. Where you can go and find clarity. Where you can find healing. Where you can find your equilibrium, where you can notice that your body is now looking for ways to serve your consciousness better, to release all of the tensions and traumas and limitations, all of the limitations on the body that are unnecessary, that are being held in place because of thoughts and ideas and belief systems and conflicts. All of that's over. It's over for you. This is what you came for. You came to be the person that you are in this moment. So you've achieved your eternal goal within the finite. And that was to be here in this moment and this time exactly as you are. Okay? So there's no praise from an egoic point of view, and there's no condemnation from an egoic point of view, because you came out and manifest and showed up in the time and place you intended to, from an unconditionally loving, divine, glorious knowing of yourself. So now you can relax about your experience of yourself and your experience of reality, because to the atom, everything is in place as we intended it to be. Until we had a chance to take the time, contemplate the repercussions of our being done with everything that we've been before. Because we know that there's not a shred of it that we could hold on to if we fully awaken. You can't be the lie anymore, If you're going to be the truth, then you can't say, but these 14 different versions of me and different stories for different groups and different individuals and stuff, I have to keep interacting with them at that level. Well, isn't that why we're at the level that we're at? Because we're committed to our lives being in constant communication with people who you're agreeing with in how it's going to be for you, that have no idea whatsoever of their power, of their grace, of their glory. They're so in the dream. As we awaken here, we don't take instructions from the completely unconscious. We see reality as it is for ourselves and act accordingly. and in harmony with things as they are. We play by all the rules that we can. Now, I haven't done this in the past. I admit that completely. I've been so irresponsible in so many ways in my life. But this is the life story, the human body that I'm waking up in. And as everyone begins to realize that it's their choice as to whether they have a divine self-realization themselves. They don't need to look anywhere or any place other than their ability to say yes to that. You know, it's very difficult, you know, and it's a process where, you know, intellectually and just social conversation, yeah, of course, everybody would choose that. But feel the real choice and know how your life story will come to an end. Because you won't be that story, you'll be a new one. Because it's a new birth. It's a new you, and it's a new life. So, when you're ready, you know, you can tell everybody as beautifully as you can, I'm making a transformational shift and I'm going to be different, and we certainly won't be able to share and communicate the way we did before, but one thing I know for sure is, you know how much I love you now. I'm going to love you so much more the next time you see me, as I'm, you know, opening up to universal love, and I being in a committed relationship. Yeah, why not that? I'm in love with the universe. And the universe loves me. Now that's a relationship that we should say yes to, each one of us, for ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. See, you don't have to get personal with it that way in the beginning, where it's so scary to look at somebody you don't know and say, I love you. I adore you. You're so awesome. It just delights me to have shared this moment with you. Have a beautiful life. But why not do that? You know, why not freely bless everybody in such a way that they're actually touched? That they're actually so surprised by the level of your awareness of them, even if it was just for a moment where you caught each other's eyes. But we know what truth is, no matter how encapsulated by the results of a million years of lies being promoted as truth. When someone looks in your eyes and sees a free being, they know they've found home. They remember what their truth is. And if we can spend a little bit of time with the people that we could actually share our open hearts, in a dynamic way. One that resolves our histories. And reformulates our potential ways that we can express ourselves here, that we can experience ourselves here. And looks at the possibilities of how if it all doesn't happen in a fraction of a second, if there's a transitional period, how do we share? And who do we share it with? What do we open to and what do we stay away from? It's a bit of a dance, when you're that water flowing down the stream. Whenever you find yourself dammed, just notice that there's a hole at the bottom, a big one, going under the dam. And wouldn't you know it, the diversion dam, when it was being built, that little plug, you can notice anytime you want to that just unplugged. And there's a way for the whole river of universal energy to flow through you multiple ways, not just through your heart or through your crown chakra, but there's no bottleneck anywhere. If you've got 100 chakras, because you can count, your fingertips and your palms and elbows and all kinds of different little vortexes that each and every one of them, the smallest, the energy of the universe could flow through unimpeded. So it's really no big deal at all for you to be that universal presence of love, of compassion, of honor, of truth, a blessing to the world. It shouldn't be a bad thing when people come here and they're actually a blessing to the world. It's something we should all celebrate, not get all caught up in, wait, is this the story, or is this the story, or is this the story? Because there's only one true one, and you have to kill everyone that believes in any other. So in such a way, you communicate to everyone in the way that they can receive according to the construct of the ridiculousness of how they've configured their consciousness and identity. God's in there. Found a damned good way to trap himself. And he's just looking for a little help from a friend. His good friend. His true friend. The goddess of love and universal celebration. Wow, look what you did this time. Whew. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do? Here, you remember, you got infinite possibilities and now you're a fucking life form. How are you going to show what is possible to be as this form and structure? What every other individuated life of that form and that structure is fucking irrelevant. when God comes to play, as whoever chooses him and her. Whoever's open to the divine dance is danced by the divine. It's not just one of an old story or 100 old stories that seemingly compete with each other according to their followers, but no. When one's open and true, one's open and true. And the only condemnation you can make is that you're not one of those stories that people are arguing over because you had such a monumental impact in a beautiful, inspiring, whole and wholesome way, where people's lives change for the better. So you can't complain about anybody that has a divine story in history until you're living your own. Because unless you're living in divine awareness, who the fuck are you to tell anybody that they're doing anything wrong, the wrong way, the wrong space, the wrong time, the wrong color? You know? You have no place in directing life other than your survival needs while you're figuring things out. But you have no place to say the world should be different. Until you're different. Different all the way. Different. And I know you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not explaining it that much. Because when you get into instruction manuals and explaining things, then it's a lesson, and it's knowledge, and it's learning. This is remembrance. That's all. This is going, whew, wow, I'm back. I'm back. And somebody else is back too. God bless you. Yeah. Remember, it's as easy as that. Now, obviously, you're not infinitely powerful and destroying the world if you want. But what are you exactly when you open to your freedom, to your truth? Well, you're set free. You know, you're no longer owned by words and thoughts and stories. You're no longer subject to them. You no longer subject yourself to them. Who gives a fuck if somebody was right or wrong in a story? And why would you put your consciousness on anything other than you and me and here and now? Whoever you're with, you're there to be conscious, not bored, not envious, not guilty, but noticing how easily life now shifts from normal to our friends, where it was so improbable that they would even ever look at the potential that life could be different for them, that they could be different for themselves. They could be freed from their mental instability, from their naivety. and they can learn how to master their life. So if we're communicating with anybody about anything other than to how the things that we're discussing, that they can make the best choice possible about them, you know, when everybody's in a state where they can't accept life as it is, and so then be free from that, they complain about life as it is on subjects that they have no control over and no interaction with. You know, so we're so stuck in the stories, not just about ourselves, but the stories of others. I mean, they're the important ones, right? They're the famous ones. They're the powerful ones. They're the evil ones. And they're the divine ones. You know, so those stories have consumed my life. And what good did that do for me? You know, a little to the left, a little to the right, higher, lower, in and out, up and down, you know, but okay, thank you. There's your philosophy, you know. Be open, be free, be loving, be generous, be compassionate, be honest, you know, be strong, be wise. Those all kind of came together. The whole energy just shifted, didn't it? That's nice. I mean, it was great before, but the embodiment of these things, you know, all you really have to do is choose who you're going to be and start feeling it. And the universe will take care of the rest. With each little shift that you make, it'll harmonize with that. So fucking forget about the universe. Forget about anyone else but you. When you're looking to change the world, pay attention only to yourself. So I'm not saying for you to be irresponsible in any way. All I'm saying is if you're going to consider spending an hour of the 7 hours that you normally spend on YouTube or whatever it is that we do, noticing the divine everywhere that we can, not with an active mind, but with a contemplative mind, you know, where we're going, where can I feel a divine presence or a divine flow or a divine awareness? Can I feel any of that within my experience of my body? You know, feel the entirety of your body. Now you know that the void or the creator or the consciousness that gives place for all creation also is within you as much as it's within anything else. And all aspects of the creator of the universe always have individual control over their manifestation. And when you decide what you are, then there's kind of a program that goes along with that, and everything falls into place, and the rest of the universe agrees. Oh, you know that guy? Oh yeah, he's like, yep. And the universe accepts that little cage that person put themselves in and says, okay, that's you? Okay, we know how to treat something like that, right? So how much change, how much truth, how much self-destruction of the most colossal lies God ever told himself, which is you and me. How much of that damnation by God? Because if you're God, you're goddess, if you want to put a gender on it. It's okay if you do, I know. There's nothing I love more than being observed and appreciated by a goddess. It hits me on every level, you know, so yeah. Where can you feel the goddess in you? Say that again, please. Oh, you know, for some reason the sound's not good, but yes, with whatever it is that I'm saying, you know, it's both rhetorical and actual at the same time, obviously. So I'm at least placing something in you that you can contemplate and explore and dip your toe in it and stuff at another time, you know, or you can say, is this one of those times and places that I set up for myself? For me to come in clean, you know, for me to be here, not only not seeking, but knowing what I am, who I am, where I am, why I'm here, and that my life is going to be exactly the way I want it to, because I'm coming in that clean, that pure, that taking responsibility for a divine presence here by coming in clean. No thoughts, no ideas, no beliefs, no story, no pretense. Yeah. Natural truth. Naturally you. Yeah. Did you have any other questions? I wish. Oh, well, thank you. I caught the last half of that. So, yeah, this is you know, I've been sharing this way with friends for some time, and but now I decided that you know, for me to make the transitions that I'm looking for myself, I actually have to share beyond a few close friends, where we get together and open up and experience, you know, some sublime flows. You know, it's easy enough now, you know, that if we come together as a group, it's really easy to find a group that says, oh really, this would actually be worth my time. I'd actually be with other people who are truly open to to the truth that sets them free, whatever that is for each individual. Find that family, find that tribe, and that will be at least the completion of the great work, let's put it that way, but more. Because the great work is coming from a point of view of something that isn't that either. that hasn't, that understands the knowledge, understands the story, but has to tell stories instead of just being a glorious presence that is an irresistible radiance. Where when we see the light, it's our light too. It's an instant recognition. So, simplicity, and authentic and real. Okay, that's a nice flow we've got going now, isn't it? Yeah. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to share this with you. Thanks. Because my reality shifts. Because I've got a story that I've been very attached to. And when somebody like you that has your awareness and your openness and the number of experiences that you've had of divine union, it's a profound experience for me when somebody like you chooses to say, yes, I'm open. Yes, I'm free. Feel me here. Yeah. So, if your world experiences even this little bit of your truth from you, it'll be a different world for everybody. Dramatically so. So, I hope we can talk again when I can hear your words. But your expression, your smile, and your attention, communicates everything to me that you are open. And you're not just open, you're appreciative and looking for being in that embodiment of the celebration and love of life, of yourself and of others. Everyone, everything, all of creation. Beautiful. Beginning with you. In a way that just keeps purifying until your irresistible radiance. Then go for a walk. And allow the physical universe to just celebrate like they've never been able to before. Because humans are finally getting it now. They're finally changing. They're finally embracing their truth, not as their potential, but as their experience of self. And as you do that, you see, I'm kind of in cathartic release right now. Why? Because of your openness, of your freedom. It gives me permission to let go to stay open. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing we can give each other. And to take some times where you communicate with friends, where you say, hey, guess what? From now on, every time we talk, I'm going to be noticing God, here is you. Yeah, like that. Can you imagine? I've seen how people change when you do that. They can't maintain the continuation of a false identity. They just keep trying to find the new bigger box that they're in, and the more they open and expand out, they still can't find the limitations of the box. So with the lost and the fallen, if you can see God's glory in them exactly as they are, and have that be your experience of them, wow. Yeah, wow. Well, you know what to do. Is there anything else you'd like me to say?
I just, gratitude, thank you. Thank you for...
Oh, sure. No, I can hear you now. I heard the last sentence. But, okay. What else could I say or do to make sure there's no unanswered questions? I guess the first thing would be is we're filming this and sharing this so that first we feel like we're fulfilling an individual purpose that we each have in doing this. Selfishly, I'm doing this because my best experiences of myself are this, and I don't get this level of freedom unless I'm sharing like this. So I get to come and visit here when I'm speaking from here. And so I'm choosing to be from here as much as I can be now. And to increase that and to allow the shifts to happen but quickly shift gracefully, into what life will be for me, when I'm living here openly and free, without, the mental, emotional, spiritual limitations that we've each taken on. So, all right, Carly, it's nice to meet you, and thank you for allowing me to just riff on whatever I wanted to, and I hope to see you sometime and talk again. Okay.